What's up, guys? Hades here. So, it's the weekend. We got about 11 hours until the next round of IB League. It is the fifth week, or the fifth round, and there are still a lot of undefeated teams. 22, in fact, which is pretty impressive, but about half of these are going to lose that perfect record. And I want to talk about builds and kind of ideas and concepts to go into week 5 and beyond. Now, our last week's opponents, I was looking at the stats and I go, man, this guy looks really familiar. And I go, well, let's go check the stats from last season. And what do you know? Here's me, here's Peter, right? This is a good player. So I was like, well, let's go find some reports from Peter and myself, because I know we hit each other. And let's evaluate them. What did he build, right? What are the top players building, right? I've considered myself one of the top builders for a long time. My stats and record prove it. But what are the next best people doing? And he has an interesting build. Of course, Fire is the best. He knows this. I know this. But he's using Frederick. Very interesting, right? Rage Blessing. He's got Energy Suppression. Bull Crit. But he denied leveling Fighting Will. He knows the concepts. You either have it and have it level 1, it still has good value, or you max it for the chance, right? Same skills. These three are the best. And he also valued Misleading. Very interesting, right? Why Misleading when there's mages? Why have no Fighting Will, right? Why Frederick? Well, let's evaluate some of these reports and see what we get. Now, this is one of the better reports I had in terms of favoring me, but it's a lot of it's random, right? Am I getting crits? Am I missing, right? A lot of the missing from the Misleading is coming from the Death Breath. It's coming from Fighting Will. I mean, look at this, 50% missing Fighting Will. Look at this one here. But I win in 21 seconds, which is quite fast, which means I got very lucky. Also, you can notice Ashoka is dead, meaning I got assist to activate on the very first try. I took big burst damage, he took the brunt, and I'm assuming his assist didn't work. Let's look at another one, right? We can't just look at one sample, we need to look at a lot. Here's one where I'm defending and I just barely hang on, right? Well, now it's a little bit more spread. Oh, look at the Frederick, quite a bit of damage, right? Interesting. Third report. This one's a loss. It is a defense win because he doesn't have enough troops to win, but it's technically in my book, it's a loss. I lose more troops in a long fight. You know, this is a winning team. Same thing probably happened. He probably got first assist. I probably got a lot of misses. Let's check out the stats for missing. 50% on Fighting Will missing is so high. 20% miss. 30% miss. I missed my only ultimate. You know, once you start to see these things, you go, well, yeah, that makes sense, right? 20% miss there. And I missed half my ults. When you miss half your ults or miss all of your ults, you're probably going to lose, right? And then there it is, I lost. And the final report, just to barely squeak by. Same thing here, looking at the missing. Fighting Will, 30%, 17%. Only 25% there. No misses there. Just a little bit there. So not much on that one. And you can see I did win. So how much did Frederick do, right? Oh, Frederick did a little bit more than mine. Let's look at Frederick compared, right? The only difference really is Frederick and William and the skill differentials. Well, William half. Frederick doubled his damage. Interesting. Let's look at the next one. William 1 mil, 700,000 more. Let's look at the last one. William 1.7. So William did win. So Frederick out-damaged him 3 out of 4 times. I missed a lot. I barely won them. It was very similar. What's the difference, right? Well, do I want to use Frederick? Do I adapt Frederick into my build? Am I missing out not having levels on Misleading? If Misleading becomes more meta, how can I adapt against that? So let's go and look at the builds and see what I might need to change or fix for someone like this. Okay, so after evaluating what I found from the previous week, it helps me identify what I think is going to be strong or stronger for me the following week. What I realized was after I made my build, I had a level 1 Malice doing nothing here. And I go, well, let's see if I can find a better slot for that. I'm going to try Fighting Master. Why not? I also maxed out Misleading. I saw that miss stat on the Fighting Wills and I'm like, wow, that's pretty substantial. I'm going to level that up. I wasn't critting enough. Let's max Weakness. And I also decided, why not try Chase? This is one of those weeks where Chase or Concentration, it's not going to matter. Let's see. I'm going to get good data and I'm become a better player. If it doesn't work, I'm still going to be valuable. This team will still work just fine. If it works really well, then I benefit, right? And if I have it and other people don't have it, you know, things to consider. When you're making your build, if you see this in the next few hours, or maybe if you want to use it for the following week, these apply for a few weeks in advance, because all I'm going to do next week is probably max out Oaken, get some levels on assist, and then decide what goes here. Maybe I'll max an aura, put it here. But this same build, I'm going to use this for probably next week, or maybe I'll switch this back to Concentration. If this goes terrible, I go back, right? Then I also have the same setup here. I'm going to have a Con team. Same thing, slide in Con. Why not, right? Is this Con team going to beat this team? No, this team is going to beat Con. But is Con going to beat some sort of water team? Yes, Con will beat some sort of water team. And then I'm going to go with some sort of water team. And I, again, with that same thought in mind, what are those valuable level 1 skills? Well, Duel Master and a water team makes sense. Fighting Master on Con makes sense. Side assist makes sense. Assisting is extremely, extremely strong level 1 because you get the maximum value at level 1. All that changes when you level it is this side assister takes less damage, right? But him taking less damage doesn't matter. If he survives, he does his, or if he takes the damage, he does his job. If he survives, I don't care. As long as he survives the burst and allows my carry to do their job, then I'm fine. Now I could be wrong not having Malice, but I just didn't see value in it. Crits weren't quite high enough. These Immortals miss a lot. Death Breath misses a lot. I thought Misleading would be more valuable this week, so I maxed Misleading, right? You guys get to choose. That's the fun part of this game. What do I value? What do I max and why? If you want to go 50-50, you can go level 4 Misleading and I think level 4 Malice. That would be perfectly fine as well. Also, Oak Guard loses its value when you max out Misleading because if they miss, then you're not blocking anything, right? So this could be War Blessing, this could be Defense Blessing, this could be Speed Blessing, right? Those types of options start to present themselves as you go. I could definitely remove this and change it for one of those. Might be even better, right? That's the fun of this game. There's no one right way to do it. There's a lot of right ways. I hope you guys learned something valuable here, using previous data and applying it to future data, not changing too many variables, but changing 1 or 2 things and then applying it to improve your build week after week after week, which makes you a much better player. But yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.